Okay, today we're going to talk about Phrygian mode. Phrygian mode is the third mode of the major scale. Its formula is root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and root note. And that's it. Two reasons why you want to know the formula. Number one is for construction of the mode, and number two is for improvisation and composing. Okay, so let's talk about construction of the mode. So let's say you've got a major scale or Ionian mode, and its formula is root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and root. We can lower the 2, the 3, the 6, and the 7 of that Ionian or major scale, and now we've got Phrygian mode. One of the questions that I get a lot is, where does the formula come from? Where do these flat 2s and flat 3s and flat 6s and flat 7s come from? And I'll explain. Okay, so if we look at the notes in C Phrygian mode, they are C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. And if we compare these notes to a C major scale, which has C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. If we compare each one of the notes individually, we can see that the C's are the same. So the roots are looking good. In C Ionian or C major, we've got D, but in Phrygian, we've got a D flat, and that's where we get the flat 2 from. We've got an E from a C major, but in Phrygian we've got an E flat, and that's where we get the flat 3. F's are the same, so 4s are looking good. G's or 5s are the same. Okay. In C major or C Ionian we've got an A, but in C Phrygian we've got an A flat, so flat 6. And in C Ionian or C major, we've got B, but in Phrygian, we've got a B flat, thus creating a flat 7, and we're back to the root note again, which are the same. Okay. In terms of the second scenario, which is improvising and composing, the formula tells you what's unique about the mode. And Phrygian mode is the only mode that exists within the major scale system that has a flat 2. So the other two minor modes, being Dorian and Aeolian, have a major second or a normal 2. So you're going to want to emphasize that flat 2 in your melody. Another cool tone to bring out is the flat 6. There's only one other mode in the minor, or rather the major scale system, that has a flat 6, and it's Aeolian mode. And then we're left with the usual chord tones, the root, the flat 3s, and the 5s, which are always going to sound good. So anyways, know the formula and things will be great. So let's talk about building a modal chord progression for Phrygian mode. So we know that if we're on C Phrygian, we've got to move back 2 whole steps to find the parent major scale. So that's step number 1, is to determine the parent major scale. And if we move back 2 whole steps from C Phrygian, we end up on A flat major. So in A flat major, we've got the notes A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. It's important that you get the key signature right, or the notes right, in that scale for step number 2, which is to determine what the 1, 4, and 5 chords are. So we can see that the 1, 4, and 5 chords from A flat major are A flat, D flat, and E flat. Okay. Third and final step is to take the root note of the mode that we want and put it in the bass of the 3 chords. So we've got A flat with C in the bass, D flat with C in the bass, and E flat with C in the bass. So once again, you take the root note of the mode that you want, not the root note of the parent major scale, because that's going to bring you back to Ionian every time. So the root note of the mode that you want, which is C, and we put it in the bass of the 3 chords, the 3, 1, 4, and 5 chords. And what we have here are slash chords. And slash chords are a fantastic way of creating a more complex chord in a simple manner. When you're working with slash chords, remember that the letter on the top left is always your chord, or in this case, it's the triad, all right, which is going to be E flat major. The note on the bottom right is the bass note. So if you kind of think of it in terms of how you'd play it on a keyboard, the right hand would play an E flat major triad, and the left hand would be playing C in the bass. Okay, so I'm going to stick with just the 4 and the 5 chords for this progression. And if you can pick any 2 chords out of the 3 chords that we have, the 4 and the 5 will always work. It's not always necessary to use the 1. Okay, so the 4 and the 5 will yield great results. So we're going to go with D flat with C in the bass for 1 measure. And we've got E flat with C in the bass for measure number 2. And that's going to sound something like this. So you can hear that Phrygian is minor, but if you go a little further with the quality of it, it's a very dark minor mode. Other songs that utilize Phrygian mode are Race with Devil Down Spanish Highway by Al Di Meola, something like this. You'll hear it used in a lot of flamenco music and in a lot of heavy rock or heavy metal music, in particular the music of Metallica or Megadeth, and the way that flat 2 is used against the root note. So there's a lot of those songs that are in the key of E, so you're going to hear that F used against the E. So something like Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. So that's Phrygian mode. And until next time, keep on rocking.